Clips have established themselves early in this first quarter.
They do have a good bench, which is why the second quarter is a high one for them. Morris connects. Pistons fell behind 14-0 to the Bucks in their last game out. Bledsoe, a great look at a three. It is in the air. It's back-to-back triples, and that has to...
Could see him, the breadth of the game, and see what all he could bring to the table. Well, you know, offenses open up. Speaking of which, the rim in the season.
The ball over the lone blemish on the Clippers scorecard. Joseph down the lane and down.
Did not want to begin the first quarter like this.
Well, it's a brutal schedule for Detroit. They played Tuesday, Wednesday, flew out Wednesday after the game from Milwaukee and got into Los Angeles as Bay lays it up in after the miss.
Scored 50 and again, like,
well, it's not like it's an everyday thing. Grant misses on the three, 15 to, I think it was back in 94. Do you remember the day? Zubac's down the lane to 9. Ball 17-8. I mentioned Isaiah Stewart. He's back out there after a 2-game suspension, which was just a tough situation for everybody involved. Bay lays it in, a whistle and a timeout.
Have to prepare against a Golden State team who plays extremely intelligent basketball. Mentally, you have to be prepared for that game in order to beat that team.
Nice George picked up by Bay. Goes between the legs repeatedly. Plenty of time on the clock midway through this first quarter. George only taken 2 shots thus far. This will be his third. And it's his first make. 92 points.
I like it.
That math might be off. I was a journalism major. Joseph inside to Stewart. Draws the foul. And Isaiah Stewart.
And that's the struggle of Dwayne Casey and the coaching staff to try to figure out how to overcome some of that youthfulness.
2-man game with Zoo. He makes it a 3-man game with Jackson for 3. 6 rebounds for Zoo. George with his 4th. Clippers by 9. George muscling his way. Spoon feeds Zoo. Look out below. Diallo wound up landing on a camera as Luke Kennard tries to cash in on a 3, and he does. Diallo is... Good ball movement here for Grant and the Pistons. Has to maneuver around Ibaka. Loose ball up for grabs, goes back to the Pistons, and now the Clippers retreat. And a turnover and a 2-on-0. They feed it back to Trey Lyles, and he flushes it in.
Well, go ahead. Similar in the sense that Hartenstein does a lot of things that Zoo does, like set that pick and get ready.
Floor, great things have happened, and so give credit to Ty Lue for thinking out of the box, something he has been complimented on throughout his career as a coach. Meanwhile, Jackson races in and lays it. Your team, your roster is pretty good, and I think the Clippers, with time, will show that.
Well, and this system is tailor-made for
them on the roster. Missed there by the Pistons. Clippers out in front by 10.
Oh, right on cue. It's not the case early on for the Clippers.
Serge, nice feed to Man, who punches it in with the right hand.
The mustache right there?
We lost Freddie 30 years ago yesterday, so perhaps it's a tribute.
It is.
I don't think Queen was on the Motown label, but Josh Jackson lays it up and in. 9:07 time is the lone center. Kennard he's in the corner to Man. A catch and shoots 3 is good for Terrence Mann. The Clippers have 6 first half threes.
And that play was
slows the roll. Waits for backup. Nice lob pass in from Hartenstein. Morris surrounded by defenders, splits him and lays it in. For Cunningham, good defense there by Reggie Jackson. Late in the clock for Grant, good contest by Senior, but Grant knocks it down. His first made 32 Clippers. They've led the entire way. George tailgated by Joseph. Lobs it at the rim to Zoo, and we have a lift off and down. Cunningham from the wing to the lane. Back out to Bay for 3. Strong. Morris has George leaking out. Make us proud. Punching it in with the right hand. Met at the baseline by Zoo. Good passing by the Pistons. Bay juggles for a moment, but late in the clock. The rookie Cunningham going to have to bail them out. Forces up the shot. Did well to get it off.
He was playing with Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace had a pick for him, and he gave it to him, and he didn't shoot. I'll let this play kind of go through.
Joseph for 3. It's good. Corey Joseph. George backing down Jackson.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice swing pass by Reggie to Man. Swooping in side. Who said? Second half, Cunningham for three. It is short, a running rebound by Jackson. Had Bledsoe leaking out, unable to get it to him. So Jackson calls his own number, dives down the lane. Oh, it bounces around the orange iron and then tapped up and in.
For a young group of young men that are ultimately, hopefully, going to be pretty good in this league.
Good recovery defense by the Clippers. Cunningham decides to march his way down the lane, misses at the iron. Like to stay there and perhaps give Paul George the fourth quarter off. Gets it inside to Zoo. Up top to Reggie. Fakes the three. Pulls the trigger. And Isaiah's second bucket for Jeremy Grant. Now 2 for 11. Pistons down 70-48.
And Clips done a great job of making Jeremy Grant a little bit uncomfortable. And speaking of which, the Clipper off that you off the rocker right now. That's all I know.
Well, we're out in front 77-50. Although Jeremy Grant trying to whittle down that lead, lays it up on the second effort. 77-50. Hesitates for a moment. Hesitation, the best defender in the league. 4:40 to play in this third quarter. It's been choppy. It's been ugly. Isaiah Stewart and the Pistons trying to grind. 7:56. Clippers out in front. Pistons trying to get a little momentum heading into that fourth quarter. Clippers have led by as many as 29. Serge Ibaka taking all the momentum for quite a long time. They've got a nice player in Cade Cunningham. Jackson misses. Gets his own miss. Pops it in. 82-50. Kennard for three.
Serge.
What a great position inside, but can't convert on the second effort. And the rebound knocked out of his hands. Ultimately down the lane. Kick it out to Morris. Intercepted.
Oh, great hustle.
Diallo deflection recovered inside by Lee, and he lays it in. Still plenty of time. The house. Jackson looks inside. Deflection. Interception. Here comes Kennard.
Stolen. Saw that.
Diallo coming all the way and lays it in.
Yeah, you know, and I feel
Diallo playing with all the energy here. Selects the loose ball once again. Clippers lead 89-64. Josh Jackson for three.
Josh back at home.
Back out there, unfortunately. So too is Reggie Jackson for the Clippers, trying to put the finishing touches on this Piston team. Kennard have to do something. Gets downhill, lobs it up. And Jeremy Grant the other way for Detroit. They don't get back home to the Motor City until December 3rd. A lengthy trip here. Grant gets around Hartenstein, count it, and a foul. 90. It would be a louder ovation than a Game 7 buzzer beater.
Oh, big time. And let me tell you something. It's something about, here's the thing, I want you to think about the mentality here of a Reggie Jackson when he gets going.
Terrence Mann in the corner. You can see the Pistons playing like this game is in the balance. A credit to them. Kennard, no. Hartenstein, yes. 102. Jackson comes away with the turnover. Mann with Hartenstein riding shotgun. The lob, the flush. 107-90. And the Clippers